Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. I apologize for being 10 seconds late. It's Glen's fault. Uh, it's really, really, really cold here in Ontario, Canada. And so that's why I'm prepared. I might look a little silly, but, and I'm with Glen Kellaway from the basement over here, point the right way. And Morris Gotro, who's a
Try to do
big
that.
Ween fan and a Sparks fan, and King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Oh, he's even wearing Sparks t-shirt that I gave him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You've never given me a Sparks t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a Ween t-shirt. And just going to wait for some comments. Yeah, first of all, Morris just recently bought, I suggested he get that because I recently got it and I was really impressed with it. So tell me your thoughts on it. Be honest. You know, you don't have
Okay.
to like it.
I do enjoy the second side more than the first side
Yeah.
because the first side there's a lot of yelling and screaming in a way, that's kind of I mean the music is superb, but I find the way he yells on that first side could be a little off-putting to some people.
Yeah, but
But
that concert was 3 days after 9/11, so I think there was some anger. He had
you
to
can
release some, you know,
Oh
whatever.
yeah, you can hear it. But then you get to the second side and they're more normal sounding. They're more of the standard kind of,
Well,
rock
as
songs.
normal as
And
Ween
it
can be.
and it is heavy. It is a heavy
Yeah.
album. It
And it's the
rocks.
full band, which,
Yeah.
earlier it was just the two of them and they'd have a drum machine on
Ironess.
stage. Now, I know that a lot of you that are just coming on are questioning, why is Glen wearing that crazy hat? Morris, show your t-shirt one more time. Yeah. I love that t-shirt. It was getting a little too tight for me anyway, Morris, and
Okay. No, I really love it.
wore
I
it
I
once or
I I
twice.
appreciate it. I wear
More
it. I wear it pretty
banjo.
much every. I watch it. I wear it pretty much every weekend. Yeah, no way am I ever wearing this to work. I take care of this shirt.
Yeah. Hey there, fellas. How's
I
it
take care of
Hello,
going?
my Ween
everybody.
too, Morris. I mean my Ween t-shirt.
I see the mask, and immediately I'm thinking the Dirty Harry movie. Hello from Montreal. How's the weather in Montreal?
Whoa. Bonjour.
Hello. Hello, all you people.
All of you
Yeah, I
people.
lived in Montreal for 10 and a half years.
Oh wow.
Throughout my entire 30s, from the age of 30 to about 40s, yeah, I lived in Montreal.
Montreal's a great city.
I love it. It's that underground city to get to
And that's a
explore
kid from
that.
Toronto saying Montreal's a great city. So
In Montreal, you can travel for at least a couple of kilometers, okay? At least 3 or 4 kilometers without
He accepted my
ever.
invitation.
Hello, Alex.
Hey guys.
hi Alex.
Alex, I was at Chumley's in Belleville, used CD store, and I saw I should have almost taken a picture and then send it to you with 3 or 4, probably 5 Dream Theater CDs. One of them was live.
Oh,
I'm sure they're all good, right? Or
yeah, more or less.
yeah. So, what would be your least favorite Dream Theater album of the studio?
Well, of the sort of the outlier is the debut called "When Dream and Day Unite," and that's the outlier because it has a completely different singer, and
Yeah.
he doesn't.
How
He doesn't
was
really
that?
fit.
Sorry, how was that first singer? Was he good or?
He's a fine singer, but he is not made for that band.
Yeah.
They did one and done with him, and then moved on. So I mean, and that's a record from 1989. So it's sort of the outlier, and everything from there was good. After that, my least favorite is probably the one that came before the one that just came out.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but
So
I
yeah,
don't have an opinion on them because I don't listen to them.
Morris. When I hear this, I think you would love this band.
I really should take a listen to that. I
Yeah,
really should. I haven't come around to it yet.
yeah. Like Morris is a big Rush fan, right?
well, and
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
in Tool, I mean, you talk about
Yeah.
kind of progressive metal of the 90s and 2000s. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Tool's the best for me.
A girl went to school in Michigan. She was crazy.
Mm.
Black Clouds and Silver Linings is my favorite Dream Theater album.
That is an unpopular opinion, but that's why I respect it a lot.
Yeah.
So.
You know what, Alex? Sometime, if you like, we could do like a chat together about the whole Dream Theater discography.
I would
And
love
yeah,
that.
I want to listen to this. I've listened to this, I think, 5 times. I need to listen.
Yeah.
Albums like this, right? It takes many
Oh,
listens to.
a very long time. And
Yeah.
I got, kind of lucky. I mean, I posted a 30-minute video a couple days ago
Yeah, I
doing,
watched that. Yeah.
doing the, unboxing. And I think I got, well, lucky is one way of putting it, but it just so happened that the record came out when I was traveling a lot for work. So I was on airplanes a lot and in rental cars a lot, and I had nothing to do but sit with headphones and just listen. And I think that helped a lot. But, I would love that, Larry, because I think you're coming in with an interesting perspective, because, you started with what Glen gave you, which is my favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of known as their, magnum opus for most fans. And then you went to the most recent one that came out a week ago.
Yeah.
And so that is such, and there's 16 albums in there. So I would love that, though. I'm more than happy to do that whenever you'd like to.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm doing the Captain Beefheart episodes on Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Ooh.
We had to postpone the one we were doing, thanks to Stephen Schnee. But no, we're going to be doing it, I think, near the end of March.
I can't see that Stephen Schnee is a Captain Beefheart fan.
Yeah, I think he is.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have to get more Beefheart. The only one I have is the Safest Milk.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I love that one. I really do like it a lot. I'm not crazy for the bonus tracks though. Once the bonus tracks start, I kind of turn it off from
I
that.
usually don't care about bonus tracks.
Yeah, they should
Not
always
on
put them on a
that.
separate CD.
But the album itself, just the main songs, I love every one of them on there.
Mr. Is it Pico of my life?
Hello,
Mr.
Peacock, my life.
Morris, did you see Danny Carey, Tom Morello, and Billy Corgan are forming a super band for Black Sabbath's last concert?
Well, it'd be a super band. If Billy
I would
Corgan
love
was
to
there.
see that. No, that'd be cool. No, I'll be looking into that. I'm interested in that. Definitely.
Yeah, they couldn't find a better third guy.
But actually,
which one doesn't fit?
No, actually, like I don't mind Smashing Pumpkins, but
I like Smashing Pumpkins too. It's fun.
Okay, shut up for a
The
second.
cops come and then you gotta
Alex, tell
run
him
away.
to shut up. No, but he has a new YouTube channel where he's interviewing other musicians, and he's unlike like Howard Stern, who doesn't let the person talk. He's a very good interviewer, so I do watch that.
I just don't see the fit there. I can see Tom Morello hanging out with Danny Carey. I just don't see Billy Corgan in that group.
And Morris,
I do have some news about Tool. That once they're done doing this year's touring, they're
gonna quit.
They're going to spend 3 months. They're going to spend 3 months guaranteed in the studio hammering out a new album. So
which will last 3 years to record.
So it could be coming out at the end of the year, maybe the next year over. But it's official that they're going to go into the studio for 3 months, no matter what, and hammer out an album.
Don't believe anything that Tool tells you.
Hey guys, do you think David Grohl's going to be at that Black Sabbath concert? I mean, he
He's
can't
in
miss the
everything.
event. He's got to be there.
Maybe he'll be doing the lead vocals for Black
Oh,
Sabbath.
he'll be doing something.
Poor Dave.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to the new Sparks album.
Yep.
That new video and song, it's really killer. I played it for my best friend just yesterday. I
You
was
didn't
talking
play
to him
it
on
for
the
me,
phone,
Morris.
and
I
I
didn't
told
hear
him to
it.
check it out, and he gave the video and song an 8.5 out of 10. He goes, it's his favorite song so far from them
That's
that
good.
I've played for him.
Yeah, cool. Comment here. Larry, were you ever... No.
Oh, let's not get going here. I have a box of Doctor Who videos I have to watch that our friend Pow sent me, and I don't have my DVD player hooked up yet, so that's coming. I got to do a deep dive into Doctor Who.
No. I'm a Star Trek fan. Star Trek's my big thing.
I like Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, oh yes, Leslie Sparks.
Andy Griffith. How do you feel about the resurgence shoegaze? Any faves?
Oh, Glenn has thoughts.
Let me see. I'm you know what? I'm into a new genre now. It's called a subgenre. It's called slipper gaze. It's really good.
Oh, Glenn, you should have been a stand-up comedian.
That I don't know. I asked Alex. We had a private conversation there a couple of Saturdays ago. A bunch of guys, and that was kind of, I don't have a clue what shoegaze music is. Is it kind of like slow and...
Yeah, I think that would be one aspect of it.
Yeah,
You know,
like
the idea was
moody.
what we were teaching Glenn about was the name of it comes from the guitarists in these bands. They use so many effects pedals, so they're always staring down at their shoes.
Yeah.
And so that's where the term comes from. But yeah, I mean, it's very drony, kind of ongoing, some noise here and there. The kind of the cousin to shoegaze would be like dream pop, that sort of marries some of the effects stuff, but is obviously more hooked on, you know, melodies and songwriting and that sort of thing. So,
but if you use that same definition for shoegaze, that it started out with the guitar players looking down at their pedal boards and stuff, then that means Rush would be a shoegaze band because Eddie Lee's got 1,000 pedals.
Yeah.
Good
albums there, Morris.
Yeah, and you know that's
the beginning. I got many more to get.
Yeah. It gets kind of silly with these genres. You know, at the end of the day, it's just music, right? Like, why do you have to
That's how I feel.
label everything with a genre, right?
Yeah. But you know what's interesting though, you know, the I think that the connection between like shoegaze, which really came and started in the more popular in the 80s, and then that's why I think he's probably asking about the resurgence of it. But really, I mean, the first popular, it wasn't at the time, but you know, droney music was probably the Velvet Underground and the stuff that they were doing on especially those first two records, which I know Larry loves a lot and Glenn does not love a lot. But you know, all the stuff that's what John Cale was doing, you know, very musically, but in a very different way. Yeah, I mean, they're the sort of the grandparents of the genre, if you will, for sure.
Cool. You know, a comment I received today for my talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and this person wrote, "Wow, imagine living in the 70s in 2025."
I respect that. It's a good joke.
Hey, is this 2025?
It sure is.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm living the 70s in 2025.
Yeah. It's all, why does music have to, I don't know. It just gets frustrating.
You tell
Oh,
them.
yeah, that's
Hey,
cool.
good music is timeless. It doesn't
Yeah.
be defined by
Exactly.
generation.
Some people are just so obsessed with years and decades. It's just listen to what you like. I don't care if somebody listens to music from the 50s. Enjoy it. No, I wouldn't. You'll go crazy.
The only polka I listen to comes from Weird Al Yankovic.
That's right.
The Polka King.
Glenn, how you feeling, sir? Wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I'm sore as hell.
Yeah.
I have a pillow.
Alex, you didn't ask me. I've got chronic pain.
I was given some good advice last night, which is really helping today. I started to investigate on the internet because I'm in such pain. I didn't sleep a wink. And I started to look at stabbing pain from rib injuries. What should I do? Hold a pillow tightly to your chest. So when you breathe or you sneeze or you cough or anything like that, it really works.
Sheesh.
So I have my pillow handy.
How much longer are you supposed to feel that in pain?
They said up to 3 to 6 weeks.
Oh,
So I got a week. I'm in a week and a half in, I guess.
Damn. Well, I'll say this for the my three Canadians on here. I finally finished entirely the No Dress Rehearsal, the Tragically Hip documentary. Man, talk about I was texting my buddy Jason Arsenault because I know he's a big fan of the hip, and I was like, I don't think I've ever felt such like a more supportive like connection to a band that I don't have any musical connection to.
Yeah.
Like it's like I hear their songs and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I mean, they're very hard to explain. You know what I mean? Like this kind of alternative rock, really. But I was watching that last episode on an airplane and I was getting misty eyed, like, when people are looking at me, are you okay? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I think the whole country watched that final concert.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're the two albums right there. Get both of those and Fully Completely, and you've got the
That's
three
it,
greatest Tragically Hip albums.
well, I just bought these on Friday.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah, I had to have them.
Question for you, Glenn.
Get an opinion from Glen on Dylan and the Dead album. I'll tell you, I just talked about a disappointing album this morning on Michael. Talk about a disappointing album. I hate when two legends or people that have put out just incredible music get together and just put out such a dud. That album has no life to it whatsoever. It's really I have it in my collection, but man, it's sad. It should be amazing, and it isn't.
The Hips Road Apple's my favorite.
Me
I like
too.
some of their later albums.
I'd find their albums after Fully Completely are just like they've got great songs and too much filler.
Well, that's kind of what the documentary said.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, Alex, what is new on your channel, or what's coming up?
Yeah. Well, I again posted a big unboxing video of the new Dream Theater, the deluxe box set thing, which is fun. And then today I just posted kind of like a vinyl finds type thing. Haven't done that in a while. So now I have this thing where like whenever I get a record, I let it sit by my table because I know I'm going to do a video at some point and I want to show that. And then I look over and there's just, there's 20 records. And I was like, oh, okay, do the video so you can put these away. So there's that. And then it's not my channel, but yesterday I got a chance to be on Sea of Tranquility, which was really exciting.
Whoa, that's heavyweight stuff.
Yeah, and it was cool. It's part of their review crew, which is like a once a month or so episode where it's review crewing. And so it was me, Scott Lade from Prague Corner, Grant's Rock Warehouse, and Jamie Laszlo, who is a Sea of Tranquility contributor. We all live about an hour within the same hour radius of each other. So we did a review crew episode on music of Ohio, which was really cool. So Definitely, it's not on my channel, but I think that was just really cool. I mean, that's a channel I've watched for almost as long as I've watched you, Larry, and you know, it was just cool to be on there. So,
did you
I
talk
got
about
invited on Rick Beato's channel, but I turned it down.
yeah,
I was too busy.
I'm waiting for that interview with Rick Beato. Yeah, that one he just recently did with the two remaining doors was excellent.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that, Glenn?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for an invitation from Sea of Tranquility. Does he not know who I am? Probably not.
Hard not to.
He doesn't like Ween, Larry. You've turned him off.
And Morris, I think that you are a CD hoarder, or at least that's what your latest video is about. Tell us.
Pretty much. I do consider myself a CD hoarder, because once I get a CD, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as it has that one or two songs that I really want on it, I tend to keep it. And I mean, I keep looking around and I'm thinking, should I get rid of that? I'll never play it. And then, but then I'm going to get something else that's going to knock something else out. That's the thing about music. I'm, as much as I love music, and yeah, it kind of bums me out that I'm buying these CDs here and there that I may never get back to playing. And it's like, but I love but I try to. I guess once I retire, once I'm not working anymore, and I do have the time to listen to more music and be able to dedicate that to doing with my channel and that, and at the same time even doing more artwork, that would be the dream. That would be the dream for sure.
It's kind of an interesting discussion. So we're all basically people who like to listen to complete albums.
Yes.
So what's your kind of barometer on when an album's gonna suck? Like, if you buy an album and 3 of the tracks out of 10 are not to your liking, is that then like that album kind of? Because for me, if there's that many songs on an album, I consider it a pretty mediocre album. Even if there's 2 incredible tracks on it, it ruins the album.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, that happened with a couple of albums that I have. There's two great songs on the album, but the rest of the album is just like,
See, that album would never see the light of day in my house.
But you know what, Morris? For those 2 songs, just once in a blue moon, like, I would sell the CD and just listen to it if you get the urge on Spotify or YouTube.
Yeah,
It's just going to sit there when you can get
exactly.
something you want more, right?
Yeah. But then there are other stuff that I bought and I paid a pretty penny for it. Like, for example, okay, I'll go get this here.
Finally found a job, so I'll be able to buy more CDs soon and
Nothing
move up
broken.
Larry's here. Cool, thank you.
It is this Peter Schilling Coming Home, the 40th anniversary of Major Tom. I basically got it I just got it for the English version of Major Tom, but I love this whole thing. It's like, I don't know. There's just something really, even the German stuff, because all the first part is all in German, and the second part, well, that's what I really wanted. All these great hits in English of Peter Schilling, because I do really like Peter Schilling. I didn't think I was going to like him that much, but it was just all from that one song. So
that's a good one then to
it's
keep.
A good
right?
one. This is a good one that I'm going to keep. But like I was saying with the Eagle Eye Cherry, there's only 1 or 2 decent songs, and the rest is like snooze fest.
Is that Save Tonight? Was that their?
I don't have any Van der Graaf albums yet.
Morris, what was the Eagle Eye Cherry hit? What was the big? Was that Save Tonight?
But then there's so much out there that I need to get. There's so many recommendations I've been getting, and I want to check out, but I just don't have the time or opportunity. But I do keep it all in mind that if I see it out there somewhere, I'm going to probably, a lot of the music. There's a lot lately that I've been getting that were from recommendations. Like Widespread Panic from you, Glenn.
Oh,
You know,
just got
yeah,
past them live in Montreal. Three disc set. Freaking fantastic.
that would be awesome. Yeah, I do want to get more to Widespread Panic. The one that I got, even though you say is not one of the better ones, I still really enjoy it. So if that is one of the
They don't have a
weaker
bad
ones,
album. They don't have a bad album.
no,
That
no.
one you gave me, the second one, I really did like it.
Oh, they're a great band.
Yeah, yeah. Have you heard Widespread Panic, Alex?
Yeah, I
saw
got a
them.
chance. Yeah, I saw them at Austin City Limits a few years ago. Yeah, they're great.
And what about this band? Is it called Fish or Pish?
Fish.
Fish. Are you into them at all, Glenn? Or
You know what? I like their music. Musically, I think they're great, and they're basically Grateful Dead kind of came out of that whole thing, I think. But they're a jam band, and Trey Anastasia is a great guitar player. But for some reason, I don't like their songs.
oh, yeah.
I can't
I'm
I
kind
can't
of
get
with
into
Glenn
them.
with
I've
that.
listened to studio albums and I don't like them. I think there's probably a live album out there I'd probably dig, but
Yeah, there's a number of those bands that I have the utmost appreciation and respect for, but if I'm going to listen to them, give me like the the triple disc live album that just goes on for days and I can have a good Friday night with. Even some bands I love, like I would feel that way about Widespread Panic or one of my, Glen and I've connected on Humphreys McGee before. Same way, like, I mean, their studio albums are fine, but there's nothing like seeing them or hearing them live. I mean, that is just a completely different world. This is a band that gets a lot of hate, but I would put the Dave Matthews Band in that category. I mean, I think their studio albums are good, but if I'm going to listen, like, give me 4 hours of them jamming out for 45 minutes to whatever with electric violin playing. So yeah.
How about Glen likes Little Feet or
love
loves
Little Feet. What about go back to the other comment? Caravan, Mako Blues into Caravan.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah,
Caravan. One of my favorite bands. Love them.
Very good.
And Little Feet's amazing. Just one of the best bands ever.
There we go.
So, Glenn,
I clicked onto the comments. I wasn't seeing the comments on the side there. Now I can see them.
Yeah, but I try and put all of them up. I apologize if I miss anybody's comment. That does happen. But anyway, Glenn, the other day when I was at the used record store, I saw a certain CD that you like and you don't have in your collection. I don't think you do. And I bought it for you. I spent $6.99. Don't worry about paying me back. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't have any guilt.
Well, you owe me 10 anyway. Oh, wow. My David Bowie collection is complete.
Yeah.
Good gift.
I saw that there. Yeah.
That's the only Bowie studio album I don't own.
Now you do.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah. And I also got you, Glenn.
I got Flat and Scruggs at Carnegie Hall, an extra one. You're getting it.
I got you Ween's live album.
Oh,
2
that's
CDs.
Amazing. Are we gonna? Can we promote our CD exchange?
Well, I want to talk about them for a second. I will get to the comments if there are any. Just give us a couple minutes here. So Glenn and I are doing a CD exchange. Glenn gave me some guy named the Jimi Hendrix.
It's pronounced Jaime. Pronounced Jaime.
Yeah. Must be some new guitars. He's pretty good. He gave me Charles Mingus.
I lost you.
We're still here, Glenn.
We're still here. He got me another awesome Uriah Heep album. Just look at yourself. Look at yourself, Glenn. Where are you? There you are. Are you into them at all, Alex?
Oh yeah, you're 3 for 3 at this point. So,
yeah. How about 4 for 4?
I don't
Now,
have any of those.
I got to.
Unfortunately.
I don't want to give away the CD reviews coming up, but I would say I love 4 of the 5 CDs,
He
and I
doesn't
don't know
like
if
them
this
yet.
will be ranked number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4.
Alex, I gave him one of the greatest jazz albums of all time, and I bet he doesn't like it. You didn't show it.
Yes, I did.
You showed
No,
them.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, it was
Did I not
Mingus,
show
right?
it?
You just showed 4.
Right.
Oh my God! Yes, and there's one more to show. I already showed this one.
No, you didn't.
Yes, you.
Did I show it? Yeah, yeah. Morris is gone. He's
I
fed
must
up.
have been blinking.
Glenn, that was when you thought you lost us.
Yeah. No, the other one, Kim Deal. Oh my God, Glenn. I love this.
It's
I
really
gotta
good.
say
The
it.
more you listen to it.
No,
Fantastic.
even the first time I enjoyed. I wouldn't say I loved it the first time, but the why I'm bringing this up is it's so hard. I went to 2 CD stores in Belleville. They don't have it. I went to order it from Amazon Canada. It's going to take over a month to get it. How did you get your copy of this?
I think I bought it from Amazon when it came out, and it was
Yeah.
available.
Oh, it's so frustrating. Like that's the other thing I'm noticing with like CD stores. There's less and less to choose
Yeah.
from.
Oh, I
5
like
out
that
there.
one, Larry. I'm glad you like that one. I didn't know
Yeah.
if you like it or not.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I bought a couple of Spark CDs off of Amazon, and I might get them before April.
Yeah.
But they're on their
That's
way.
good,
There's
30
one that's
dollars
halfway
up
here
there, right?
already. So
Like this widespread panic one came from Germany. It probably took a month.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And
can I show you the 5 that Larry gave me to listen to?
I also wanted to show you I got this, Glenn.
Oh, I know. I saw that in your
Yeah.
thing, and you said
And I got it. It was
that you would sell it
$30
to me for
though.
$25. That's
I'll
awesome.
sell it to you for 25 when I'm done with it.
Perfect.
I read it in the bath, Glenn.
That's why I never buy those magazines. They're freaking, it's like buying
Yeah.
a book.
Well, they're British, right? They come from the UK.
Oh,
So,
expensive.
yeah. Show the 5 I gave you.
Okay, well, I'm going to show this one first because
No,
Alex will
unfortunately,
just
unfortunately, Doug, no, I don't have any. I'm reading some. Yeah, he's saying
Badfinger, no dice.
so.
Nectar,
No doubt, I don't have any Soft Machine CDs, unfortunately.
Down to Earth.
Wouldn't mind getting some
Blues
though.
album,
I do like that kind of music.
Mississippi Fred McDowell, who I found out isn't from Mississippi. He's lying.
Turns out, yeah.
Who knew? Don't trust Fred McDowell, whatever he says. Atomic Rooster.
They're good.
And the first Genesis album, from Genesis to
See,
Revelation.
Alex, I do have good taste in music.
So of the 10 that was showed between you all, I have 9 of the 10. So
Wow. Which is the one you don't have?
the Mississippi Joe or whatever.
Yeah.
Mississippi Fred
So
McDowell.
are you impressed with the Kim Deal?
Yeah, I love the Kim Deal. And that county came out of nowhere. Kim Deal's from Ohio. So people around here were very excited for it because, she was obviously part of the Breeders and then the Pixies.
I've never heard any of her like with the Breeders at all.
Yeah. Very different. I mean, like that, like you said, like this album is all over the place in the best of ways. So yeah, people here were very excited when that album came out, and yeah, it's extraordinary. See, now I'm like thinking in my mind, I'm trying to rank for you both how I think you're going to rank them.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. Let's hear it.
Do it now. Yeah.
So I think for Larry, if I can remember these, he's going to go 5 Mingus. I think he really, really likes it. But
how do you like the Mingus album?
Oh, I love yeah. It's
a great album.
That would probably be if we ever do our stream, Glenn, that might end up on there. So I think Larry, I think he really, really likes it, but he just loves these other albums more. Number 4, I'm going to go with. I'm trying to remember.
I'll show them again. Uriah Heep, Robin Trower, Jimi Hendrix, and
Kim Deal.
And Kim Deal, yeah.
Now, Larry loves the Kim Deal. He's blown away by it. It is so good. It's a 10 out of 10. But Larry has been really on his Uriah Heep kick. And Look at Yourself is arguably the best, along with what Glen's favorite is. So I think he's going to go Uriah Heep 1, Look at Yourself 1, Kim Deal 2, Hendrix 3, Robin Trower 4, Mingus 5.
See, this is why I love this album. I can look at myself. Okay.
What do you think about the 5 that Larry gave me? Atomic Rooster, Genesis, Fred McDowell, Badfinger, and Nectar.
This one's a little bit tougher because I find Larry is easier to. Glen, you're a little bit more finicky.
I'll say.
Because I could see you going either way with any of those records. I could see you hating the Genesis record and being like, what? This is the most, twee nonsense, weird stuff. I don't.
Or he could love it, right?
Or he could be like, this is better than anything they've ever done.
This is better than Supper's Ready.
I just don't. It's
Supper's Ready.
Yeah.
So I'll be on. Yeah, Glen's gonna be tough, but I'll go 5 with the Mississippi Fred, or whatever Mississippi whoever. I think Atomic Rooster. It's almost funny. It's almost easier to fill in the gaps. I know you like Straight Up from Badfinger, and No Dice is like right there with Straight Up. So, but I could also see you being like, because you hate the Beatles now, so you might hate Badfinger.
I don't hate the Beatles. I'm just bored with the Beatles.
You could be too bored with this. Atomic Rooster is great, but I remember you doing a video where you were a little bit unsure about it. So that's the thing. I just don't. I'm struggling with your list, Glenn. I feel pretty good about.
Look at that.
So, now, Alex, would you have the Nectar Down to Earth?
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite. Like I love a lot of That's my favorite.
But I love Down to Earth too. I remember when you all did this maybe a year or two ago, you gave Glenn Recycled.
He didn't like it.
And he goes, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like recycled material.
Yeah, he said it was too clean sounding or something. And
was that Nectar?
Yeah.
I'll have to give that to you again.
I like Down to Earth. I like a lot. I mean, they're
fresh ears or something now because I am really digging Nectar. I will just give a hint and say I don't dislike any of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Speaking
it
of,
might have been the most enjoyable 5 you've ever given me, Larry.
Wow.
Where there wasn't one like Chaos and Creation in the Backyard where it was painful after a while.
I don't listen to Emerson, Lake or Palmer.
I'm not a big fan.
I like Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I've got pretty much all their albums except for
I like Emerson, Lake and Powell. Yeah.
I like that Atomic Rooster came out of the whole Arthur Brown, Crazy World Arthur Brown stuff. That the history of I love.
So are you playing any of the other albums too or not?
The Atomic Rooster, I've meant to, and I haven't yet. I haven't had time because I've gotten so much new stuff myself, and I just got this.
That Death Walks Behind You.
Miles Davis at Newport, all his Newport appearances from 1955 to 1975, 4-disc set. So I'm part of the bootleg series, which I'm really excited about.
One of the most, Larry, because you brought up.
I'd ask you, Larry, if I can take this back home with me and listen to the rest of it.
What? Yeah, sure. You can borrow it for a while. I'll never get it back.
One of the most criminal acts of artwork was the original UK artwork for Death Walks Behind You, and then what we got here in North America. Because that original artwork for Death Walks Behind You is so good.
Yeah.
And so just awesome. And then at least here in the States, we get like, it's like a black cover with like a arrow or something on it. I don't even know. It's terrible.
Yeah. I've heard of Dwight Twilley, but never really listened to him. Larry, I always enjoy your live chats. Hope one day I can get. Yeah, I think
you have to send money. Like we've all paid Larry.
Yeah, it is money. Alex just gave me $50 through PayPal. Morris, the sucker he is, sent me $100.
Yeah.
And Glen is sort of a friend, so
and I have to be his friend to like I have to hang around with him to get him.
Yeah, I kind of like.
I'd rather just send him $50 and ignore him, but
I kind of like it with just 4 as the limit, so that we're not talking over each other, and as
and
much.
You can't play euchre with 5 people.
No, but you're invited on sometime. Knucklehead Rock, yeah. As long as you like Ween, we're good. Alex, have you heard Ween?
No, not yet.
You know what, Alex?
Or whatever.
I challenge you. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do?
Poor man alone.
Shut up for a second, Glen.
He's got enough problems.
No, I was thinking if I gave you not gave you, but if you listen to a Ween album I suggest for you and give you a week or two, we'll get together and you review it with me, because I think you'll like whatever I give you. And if you don't, it's fine, right?
I could do that for sure.
Okay,
and
cool.
do you want to do like what is it, white pepper or whatever?
What's that?
What's the one you want me to do? White pepper?
I don't know yet.
Pepper or
maybe a white pepper,
or
one that Glen didn't really care for. But
I would be I love that.
Quebec is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Quebec is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of people on YouTube, I have an open mind when it comes to music.
Yeah. Hello, Marvin.
Oh,
Marvin's a big Iron Maiden fan.
So, Glen, part of my therapy of being less of a hoarder, I'm going to be sending Larry Graves a gift box, okay, full of like, it's mostly about the drawings that I'm doing for him, okay, which I don't want to spoil for anybody.
You can also send money, Morris. You can send money.
Just
but I have a couple of CDs here that I'll never get around to playing. They were actually gifted to me, and it doesn't matter if I gift them to somebody else. It's sharing music, but I'm sure you would appreciate this a lot more than I would. It's this is set up by Neil Peart of Rush, okay, and it's called "Burning for Buddy," and these are just jazz. All these different jazz drummers compiled together to do a lot of Buddy Rich songs.
Oh,
There's a whole bunch.
Glen would like those. Yeah,
I think they would be
There's
awesome.
a whole bunch of awesome. There's like Kenny Arnoff, Greg Bissonette, Bill Bruford, Steve Gadd, David Garibaldi, Joe Morello, and Neil Peart himself too, and so on and so forth.
That sounds amazing.
So
Morris, if you send those along with the package, I'll sell those.
Oh man, that's awesome, Morris. Thank you. I think they'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, I'll give those to you.
Yeah,
because yeah, it'll free up some space in my place here, because I'll never get around to playing these, and I know you'll appreciate them way more than I will.
Yep.
Well,
so I'm sending.
I have never heard of Charlie Parr. What instrument does he play? Is it guitar or?
He says bluegrass artist.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what instrument he plays.
Oh,
I've never heard of him. And where's he from?
I'm not sure.
Cult
There's
of
no one here.
Yeah, Cult of Wiener. That's what they should call Ween fans. Wieners.
Wiener.
Banjo.
Oh, he's a banjo player. Wow. I don't know him. I'm going to check him out.
Have you ever listened to the Emerson, Berry, and Palmer album? No. Unless
that's when Keith Emerson and Chuck Berry and Arnold Palmer put a band together. It was great. They would go golfing and then.
And Arnold would play his golf club.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Who's Barry in that? I can't even imagine.
Barry Manilow?
Yeah, Barry Manilow.
Oh.
Imagine Carl Palmer and Keith Emerson playing along to Mandy. That would be crazy.
I'm just waiting for some more exciting questions from the viewers.
I will say, I'll show this to you.
Well, I have something to say, Larry.
Yep.
I was going to ask you, maybe in about a couple of weeks from now, I'm sure Jeep Jones from the Great Balancing Act would be into this. I want to do on your channel an interview with Jeep Jones, maybe a couple of the band members, dropping in here and there, and
well,
if that's okay.
I actually sent Jeep a link for this live chat, but I don't think he read it before. So yeah, we can do that sometime, Morris. Yeah, and I think they're working on a third song of mine. So that's kind of exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you said they were going to be putting out like a sort of a EP of your songs.
Yeah.
I'd buy that.
Yeah. So Alex, what were you going to say there?
Oh, this for you and Morris. Because last time we were all chatting, we were talking about some different artists, and I said, yeah, I'll get to that band. So I got to the band. I have one album, and I really like it, and now I'm overwhelmed. But that is, of course.
Yeah. Oh, that's the album. That's the album to start with.
This is Nonagon Infinity.
Nonagon Infinity.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I got that, Glenn. Nonagon Infinity.
That is a trip. I love that. That's my second favorite album of all time right now, right underneath Lateralis.
What kind of music are they playing on that album?
Try and explain it, to Glenn. I don't know if Glenn would like it or not.
It's kind of I think it's like a bit psychedelic, a bit progressive. Mm-hmm. What it is 9 songs that create like a continuous loop. You can take the last song and loop it back into the first song, and it just continues over and over again. And each song connects into each other. And you'll be
you don't even know the next song has
hearing
started,
parts of songs.
That sounds like something I would
love. Hearing parts of one song into another song, and then but there's a common theme that goes throughout the entire album when you're listening to it, and it's just very clever variations of the same.
Sounds like kind of jammy
theme, like musically, but it blows my mind. I love it. I'm obsessed with it a little bit.
I mean, you'd say 2 words to me, and that's an instant buy: progressive and psychedelic. That's me in a nutshell.
Yeah. So Alex, is there more you can give to that, like for Glenn?
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. It's very hard to because it's certainly progressive and certainly psychedelic, but it doesn't sound like Yes, it doesn't sound like the Grateful Dead. But
no,
yeah,
it's heavy. It's heavy, but it's energetic. It's fun.
I got that, Glenn. So maybe the CD exchange coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Weird.
But Glenn, I want to know more what you think of a Paper Mache Dream Balloon, because you have it on vinyl.
Really I think it gets better with every listen, because there's things I hear in the music that I didn't like. All of a sudden, I hear like a bit of a flute or something. Like I'm just going, wow, that's really interesting. I think it's a well put together album.
Yeah. And that last song is a flute montage of every song that we just heard.
Yeah, the side 2 is the better side of that album, I think. I have the vinyl, so to me.
Okay, later career masterpieces. That's a good one. For me, I would say I love the later Yes albums that hardly anybody talks about, like Magnification and Key Studio. And the newer Sparks albums are just as
masterpiece
good as
is a really strong word.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. Well, not masterpiece, but great albums.
The new one from John Anderson, I would put up there is like really surprisingly good.
Yeah, I mean Black Star, obviously.
Bowie's Bowie's last couple albums before he passed. Oh man, who else? I'll throw Dylan's Rough and Rowdy Ways in there because I love that freaking album.
Yeah.
Yeah, Utopia.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for saying that.
I
And
need to
yeah,
get some
it
bad
sure
singer.
does.
Yeah, that is such a good album.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
When's the live one coming out? I'm done. I want to.
It's coming out soon, in sometime in March. Yeah, I actually pre-ordered it. Later Michael Jackson albums. Yeah.
I ordered one of those albums from Khruangbin. How do you say that? Is the way I'm saying that properly?
Yeah, Khruangbin.
Khruangbin. Yeah, I ordered one of their albums. It's coming on Wednesday.
Do you remember which one?
Or
what it looks like?
If the music something or other is over or something.
Okay.
I listen. I kind of spot listened to it all on Spotify, and I really liked it. So
you have Con Todo El Mundo, The Universe Smiles Upon You, Mordecai, and Ala Sala.
The second one, there's something smiled upon you.
The Universe Smiles Upon You. That to me is their best one. So you made the right choice.
That's what I ordered.
Yeah.
And I got the new Government Mule album too. Do you guys ever listen to Government Mule?
I should check them out.
It's called Like a River. And they have it on Amazon Canada, double album for $23. I mean, usually a double album in Canada is $70. So
that's got Billy Bob on it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. On one song. And you can hardly hear him, thank God. Right. I really didn't. That kind of turned me off.
The great Billy Bob Thornton.
I like Billy Bob Thornton, but
he's a great actor.
When movie stars start showing up on albums, it's like
why?
Yeah.
He's a singer first and then a actor.
Yeah.
I love these little dead spots where nobody talks. We should do that sometime. Just not talk. Just see what people say.
We're just hanging out. That's what's fun about it. We're hanging out, talking about music.
Let's just think.
And I'm just, thinking about all the great music that I have that I could talk about, but there's so much to talk about. You don't know where to start. I know what I want to keep grabbing for music is the can. I can't get enough of that. I mean, of course, I still like to play the Sparks, and I almost always want to grab, for some reason, Number One in Heaven, because it's a half an hour long. It's not a long album, so it's easy to put on in a pinch. When you just got a half an hour to spare. So it's one of my favorite ones to put on lately. I've been playing that a lot.
Have you guys got any new releases that you're excited about coming out?
Well, of course, whenever Tool comes out, of course, the new Sparks. But besides that, I don't know.
I'm anxious for for some reason the new Steve Hackett album, the live acoustic album, is not available in Canada yet. Even though I see Steve has it in the States, it's not coming out here until February 28th. So
that's my birthday.
Dying to get that. Of course, the Close to the Edge reissue, the anniversary, is like must buy. I love those reissues so far.
Oh yeah, I love King Crimson. I do have a couple of albums. I have In the Hall of the Crimson King. I do have that now. That was a recent buy, a couple of weeks ago. I have Thrax. Plus, I have the live stuff of like Vroom Vroom and Live in New York. It's a kind of two live albums in one. I love that. Yeah, I like King. I do want to get more. Absolutely.
Yep.
They're one of my favorite channels. Sorry, Morris. One of my favorite channels is Close to the Edge. Pat over in Europe, in Ireland. And him and his buddy Kevin were on. They released a video today. They're top 10 perfect albums, and Pat chose Red. King Crimson's
Yeah, I
Red is
love
one
that
of his
album.
perfect
Yeah.
albums.
I gotta get that.
Yeah.
That would probably be one of the next ones. No, I haven't heard of them, Doug. No, sorry.
Anybody else heard of them? Yeah, Alex?
Yep.
Yep. That's all you
What
have
are
to
they
say about
like?
them?
I might misspeak here and be I want to say I could be making this up. Let's say they're Scandinavian, because I feel like it's either Sweden or Denmark or something like that. Could be wrong. And I want to say they're like a kind of into the more progressive rock, but of more current days. Again, feel free, Douglas, to rip that apart. But I've certainly have heard of them. I just can't remember if I'm confusing them with somebody else.
Yeah. You guys have any thoughts on SHM CDs? There you go, Glenn.
They are supposedly like a higher quality sounding CD that I believe are from Japan. The Stones have a bunch of albums on SHM CD, but when I had a Super Audio CD player, they used to come out from Japan. They'd had SHM SA CDs, which I had a few of, and they do sound better. I don't know about the SHM CDs. They probably do. I'm sure they sound good.
All right. Yeah, I like Bebop Deluxe. Glenn is a fan.
Bill Nelson.
Yep.
Love them.
Morris hates Bebop
No,
Deluxe.
I don't know who they are. I haven't heard anything from them. They're just, yeah. I guess it's because of where I come from the Maritimes. We don't get stuff as soon as other people do in Canada. We're in the far end, so we get stuff a little late.
Well, that's really late, because those albums came out in the late 70s, early 80s. You were really far behind.
Yeah.
With Gentle Giant, I've only heard.
Did you know President Kennedy's not well?
And I liked it.
No? Okay.
What'd you say, Glenn?
What was
I
that?
said, did you know President Kennedy's not well?
Oh yeah, he has a headache.
Yeah, Gentle Giant. I don't have anything by them, but they're one of the most talented bands, right, Alex?
I would get some Gentle Giant. I would get anyone, no matter what. If I see a Gentle Giant, I don't care which one it is, I'll get it. I like it.
Thank you, Leslie, for dropping by.
Thanks, Leslie.
Thank you.
I feel like I've been outed. So by the way, okay, so I was correct. I had to give them a quick search. Anecdoten is a Swedish prog band, so I got it right. Steve gifted me. Steve at A is for Alice, B is for Bob. Along with so many other people, he gifted me a box of CDs during his great CD purge of 2024 or whatever. I don't even own a CD player outside of my car. And so, you got the CDs. Wow, thank you so much. This is cool. This is great. And then they went on a shelf somewhere, and I haven't looked at them since.
Yeah.
So there's what happened to that.
We all know Steve. So A is for Alice, B is for Bob. What would C be for?
C would be for Chet Baker.
I was going to say Coltrane.
No, J would be for John Coltrane. That's right.
Oh, it's got to be first names.
That's where he got the name, was by his way of alphabetizing.
Now, Morris and everybody. Now, Morris is going to be sending me some package soon. And I sent him a big package there about a year ago with
kinky.
Show the T-shirt one more time, and then a bunch of CDs and whatever. And so seriously, when I sent you that package, did you have to pay anything extra for it? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Not at all. It came. It was left for me, and I grabbed it, and it was no problem at all.
Okay. The one thing when viewers send us packages, we definitely appreciate them. But once in a while, like when somebody sent me the Electric Light Orchestra box set, which kind of a long story, but I had it before and then I ended up selling it and then I ended up regretting it. But a nice viewer said, I'll send you the ELO box set. And I had to pay $35 extra, but that was worth it, right? getting the box set back, so no problem.
Can I tell my horror
Yeah,
story?
that's what I'm leading up to. But Glenn has a story.
Yeah. So one of my loyal viewers, his name is Rick, awesome dude.
Yeah.
He was very generous and sent me an email saying he was going to send me a box of 20 CDs, various singer, songwriter, bluegrass, whatever, a bunch of stuff. I thought that was very generous of you. Thank you. It came in the mail. I got a knock on the door a couple of days ago. The mailman's at the door. It was mail woman, actually. She's got the package in her hand. The duty on it was $122 for 20 used CDs.
And that's what you have to pay.
That's what I would have to pay to get to receive the package.
This is not a thing in the States. So
he put a value on it of over $800.
Yeah.
That's why they flagged it.
I'll be right back.
So it could have been diamonds in there or something. And I was trying to explain to the woman, I go, these are used CDs that if I took this box to a CD store right now and traded them in, the value would be maybe $30. That's what I would get for
right,
it.
if that, yeah.
Yeah. So I said, there's no way. So unfortunately, I had to send him an email just saying I had to refuse the shipment. So he wasted good money on the shipping charges. So anybody in the U.S. who's sending anything to Canada, put no commercial value. They'll ask you to put a value on it. Just put as little as you can. And we'll still, like Larry said, if someone's kind enough to send us a gift, if I have to pay $35 for it, I would certainly pay that. But 122 is
And I used to do these CD giveaways like a contest, right? And about 5 years ago, somebody in the UK won, and I was giving away a pile of CDs, right? And whatever else, books. I had to pay, he won, I had to pay $80 in shipping because it went to the UK.
Well, that's why you're better off when you have a contest or something. You're better off saying an Amazon gift card because
Yeah.
you got to set value there.
Look what I got in the mail just now. It's a Ween box set. No.
Did you really just get that? Are you going to open it?
It's a weighted blanket, Glen, 20 pounds.
Oh.
Why would someone want a heavy blanket on them? I can't.
Glen,
I got to take all the blankets off.
Glen, I take a nice hot bath and then I get into bed and put on my weighted blanket.
Oh, God.
Alex, what do you think of weighted blankets?
I run hot all the time. So
Me too.
the idea
Yeah,
of
but this is cool. This won't make you hot.
That sounds like a nightmare. It sounds like torture.
Once you put it over you, you can't get out.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. Yeah.
It does. We have a sheet, and then my wife puts a heavier blanket on top. The heavier blanket, I got kicked off. I can barely stand having the sheet on.
The door,
20-pound blanket.
You know
when
what?
the music's over, maybe.
The
They're
end.
pretty. They're both really good.
Yeah.
I go with the end, but when the music's over might be my second favorite Doors song after the end. They're my two favorite Doors songs.
We're
They're both equal.
I was going to go with when the music's over. So.
Oh, that might be interesting.
That's a good album. That was one of those albums I didn't know existed until I just kind of came across it for cheap.
I've never heard that.
It is. I mean, it's a guitar album.
It's an interesting guitar.
Yeah, they're just ripping, both of them. It's pretty widdly, but good.
Yeah, that's not going to cost. Like if it's one CD, it's nothing. Even if I had to pay.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't flag
no
a CD. But if you send a box, like a shoebox size thing or something,
it's a Devo blanket. It's a Devo weighted blanket.
So I bought myself a Frank Zappa, a really nice jacket off of Frank Zappa's website, and it was before Christmas. It was like Black Friday or something, and it was $100 jacket US, and it was they took 40% off, $60. So I thought, so it's still $100 to me, but it's such a beautiful jacket. I had to have it. So I got it sent to my daughter's place in Florida to avoid all the shipping and everything. She sends it up to me in the mail, and I got to pay $40 shipping. I end up paying full price for the job. I had to pay $40 for a duty. Yeah. Can't win.
You should have got on the phone and just yelled at her.
And the Grateful Dead box set, they always sell these great big massive box sets. They usually start out US for $198. If you get them shipped to a US address, they pay for shipping. So $200, that's it. My daughter and my two daughters and my wife got together and bought me one of them, like a 15 CD set a couple of Christmases ago. And it was $198 US. Went to my daughter's place. I was expecting her just to leave it there until I got there and then I would get it, but she shipped it up. It ended up costing them over $300 by the time it got here.
That's crazy.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
So I had to send a certified letter. Well, I didn't have to send it certified, but I wanted to the place I worked at, McKesson, here in Trenton, just down the road. But I sent it, make sure they get it and everything. And I ended up paying, I think, $14 for it. And it's going to take like 5 days for them to get it.
Yeah, you could have walked over and delivered it.
Yeah, just go drop it off to him. Yeah.
It's 2 minutes away from his house.
Yeah. Any fans? Yes, there's many fans of myself. Thank you. Any fans of Manfred Mann's Earth Band?
I have a greatest hits. And I like it.
Oh, Alex is bored. He's yawning.
No, that was a big yawn. I love Manfred Mann's
I
Earth
have
Band.
that. Blinded by the Light. It's a necessary song to have. I like the Mighty Quinn. That's a good one too.
Good cover.
And
Yeah,
Marvin.
yes.
Yeah, Humble Pie. I've got a box set of all the early Humble Pie albums, and Rockin' the Fillmore, one of the greatest live albums ever.
I have the box set of the complete performances from all the nights of the shows.
Yeah.
Of that. That's a really good box set.
Yep. Glen, what's new on your channel?
I did my
Twice.
Sunday morning rap this morning where I blindly pulled 12 CDs and talk about them. Had to do it twice because my microphone screwed up. And I did my top 11 jazz albums. And coming up in the next, probably not this week, but the week after, if you're available, Alex and I are going to go live as soon as we can arrange a date, sometime soon. And we're going to do our top 10 desert island jazz albums. So that'll be coming up. I'm looking forward to that.
So when you did a recent video about jazz, right? Your favorite jazz albums. I didn't see Frank Zappa in there.
Well, I don't consider him a jazz artist.
No, jazz rock is different than jazz, or like Hot Rats is kind of like Grand Wazoo is jazz, isn't it?
Jazz fusion, I guess. I mean, it's some of it falls under, but as a pure jazz artist, I wouldn't consider Frank Zappa a jazz artist.
Yeah.
Well, that's Zappa song that you had, Larry, in the last radio show. That sounded pretty jazzy to me. I thought
he certainly can go there. There's no doubt.
And I was wondering, was Steve Vai playing with them on that one? Because I think it was a live version. Because it sounded very much like stuff I've heard Steve Vai do.
That was live in New York, I think, Glenn. Was Steve Vai with him?
No, that would have been before Steve.
That was way before Steve.
Okay. Marvin. Black Sabbath, Paranoid. Now, Marvin is one of my loyal viewers. I think he comments a lot on my videos and all that. But Marvin, this is your second question. It's going to be your last.
Unless you pay.
Joking, Marvin.
Unless you pay. They are my two favorite Black Sabbath albums.
I would say Master of Reality. They're both.
Me too.
They're both
Master of Reality.
If I had to choose, Master of Reality.
I was double checking track lists. I mean, they're both outstanding. I think one of the things is that there's 2 tracks on Paranoid that I never ever need to hear again.
Oh, really? War Pigs?
No, I could hear War Pigs forever. I love War
okay.
Pigs. Paranoid and Iron Man are 2 songs.
Iron Man's
They've been played to death.
But they are both
still
very
great.
Wow, I saw Manfred Mann's Earth Band 3 times backing up bands. Blue Oyster Cult, Uriah Heep, Wishbone Ash.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Are any
But
of you
this
guys
one's the
into
better one.
Wishbone
This
Ash?
one's the best one. I think that's a good one.
Yep, I love that album.
I have watched, I think in the last week, about 4 channels talk about Wishbone Ash, and I have never listened to a Wishbone Ash album in my life. Nothing against them. I just have never paid attention. Like, and now I feel like I really need to.
You like them?
Yeah. Somebody says Argus is the.
Yeah. That's their best known album. Yeah.
Do you have any Wishbone Ash albums, Larry?
No. But I've heard about them for years, and Argus is their best known album. Yeah. I think that's my favorite Sabbath album. Sabotage.
It is good.
Pretty heavy, isn't it, Morris?
I think so. I like it. I was really digging that one.
Yeah. I don't know what does everybody think about this Black Sabbath reunion with Ozzy? I mean, he's not in the best health. Supposedly, he can't even walk now.
It could be fun as long as it'll be interesting if he can still do it.
They may have to put the bats on his plate with a knife and fork. I don't think he'll be able to catch them anymore.
Oh, Lord. Manfred Mann is over 8. Wow, the same age as Glen.
Wow.
That is impressive.
That's crazy. Yeah, we were born the same date.
Yeah.
Plays on
Ash. First release is great. Michael, hello there. Sorry I'm late. Well, I watched a great 4 Nations.
That was quite a game last night, man.
I didn't watch
the fights.
Yeah,
there were 3 fights.
They were fighting for their country.
Seconds. It was crazy.
So was it kind of political in a way, or?
Well, I don't think between the players, I don't think they're political about it, because they all play with each other and they play in the same, both countries. But I think the whole timing of everything, it couldn't help but be political to a point.
Yep. I got Morrison to Can. I'm just missing, I think, 1 studio album. I love Can. Alex, have you heard them?
Yeah, I have one. Well, excuse me. Just one live album. I need to. What studio album should I buy?
I would say Future Days.
Yeah.
And then for something a little weirder but really good, Tego Mago. It's a double album.
Yep.
There's some it's almost like the first half is kind of normal for Can, and the second half is pretty freaky and almost scary sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah, Pilgrimage and their debut are great too. There you go. Yeah, Blowing the Jug. That's at the tail end of the album. Wow.
Where were Wishbone Ash from?
UK.
Okay.
That might be a good place to start, though, Glenn, if you come across it, is Live Dates, their double live record. It's on, I think it's on the Wishbone 4 tour or the Argus tour, I forget, but it is that definitive period live album.
Oh, cool. Dennis,
I've got that book.
Dennis is my brother from another mother. Yep. I've never met a man that is so connected with me musically. It's unbelievable. And we met for the first time last Wednesday. He lives in Ottawa, and I was in Ottawa for a hockey game. And we met. We went to the game together, and we talked music all night. And then we start talking, And I asked Dennis what he does for a living. He said he worked in plumbing sales, the wholesale plumbing place. And I went, I spent my whole career in kind of plumbing industrial pipe sales. And then I said, I worked for a company called Crane Supply. He says, that's where I worked.
Wow.
Like, it's just nuts. We're the same age. Our musical tastes are like 99% dead on. And even the bands we hate, he hates Aerosmith, I hate Aerosmith. It's uncanny. And then we both end up working for the same companies too when we were working. It's nuts. But Dennis is a great guy.
Which Can album you don't have there? It's the final studio album that they did. Whatever it's called, I forget. Yeah. No, I've got that. It's okay. I don't. The later Can albums aren't as good as the earlier ones, but they're still all good. Yeah.
And it's funny, Larry, because I remember when I first heard of this Can album on somebody put I think the greatest double albums in history. They were ranking them on the Steve Hoffman forum, and someone mentioned Can, Mago, Tago, and I'm thinking, I think I've heard every great live album or every great studio album that ever came out that's a double album. I can't believe it. I checked it out, and then I bought it, and I'm listening to it, and I'm going, I don't know if I like this or not. And then I gave it to Larry on a CD exchange, and he freaking loved it, and he's turned into a big Can fan. And I just kind of walked away.
It's fun being turned on to new music.
Yeah. I've heard of the band. I've heard of the first, except for the last one, and I've heard they're good, but I've never checked out their music. How would you say that? Amon Duel, I guess.
Amon Duel.
Yeah, a German band. I think Glen would like, from what I've read. I think Glen would like them.
I know our friend Art down at the North Carolina Vinyl Picker is a huge fan of Grobschnitt.
Of what? Oh,
what?
Grobschnitt.
I thought you swore at us.
I know. There's no swearing on this channel.
Bratwurst.
Yeah. Wash your mouth out with soap.
I don't know. I was watching Larry's video the CD exchange where Glenn started coughing and was dropping F-bombs.
Yeah. That would hurt.
Or he had to sneeze. That's what it was. He had to.
Whenever Glen's over and we're doing a video, I have the stress ball here, Alex. It helps me to calm down.
Yeah. I got 2 of those.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I was just gonna say.
Oh, here you go, Glen.
I have not seen it yet, but my friend Sam St. John messaged me and told me it was awesome. But it's on. I don't get that streaming channel.
Hulu.
I don't watch any streaming channel at all.
But I am going down to Florida, and my daughter probably gets it, so I'll watch it when I'm down there.
Yeah, I in the recent CD exchange, Glen gave me their second album, and it's a very good album.
It's my second favorite band of all time. I moved Yes and King Crimson down for the first time in 5 years. They are not number 3 and 4 at least, because the Beatles moved out. Grateful Dead took over 1, then Yes and King Crimson. Wow. Now they moved down. Wish this band, I just freaking
Alex. What do you think about Glen and his lack of interest in the Beatles these days? I never get tired of hearing. Like, I play the Beatles like. Every month I play the Beatles.
Do you want me to go on my Beatles rant right now, Larry?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. So down here in the States a couple weeks ago, we had this little thing called the Grammys. What do y'all call it up there? The Junos?
We watched the Grammy. I watched the
Grammy. We know all this, Alex.
I know. So here's the thing, right? And I'm not saying it's any of you all, but I am saying that it is a particular sect of people, especially on YouTube, and a lot of times it is generational, that absolutely hate the Grammys, right? They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. It's all just a bunch of divas and pop stars and popular people in expensive outfits, and they don't know anything about music, and it's just all these uptight business people that just want the hot 24-year-olds to get more awards, and we hate Taylor Swift, and all. It's like, this is blah 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 blah. The people hate the system, right? They hate the system that is the Grammys. They hate it. They hate it. They can't believe how little these stupid people know about real music. But when the Beatles win, what a band. What a band. How good are the Beatles that in 2025 they are winning Grammys for
one of the wimpiest, terrible songs ever. No offense, but that song is not good. That's not a Beatles quality song.
I didn't say it was funny. I saw a couple people. It was probably like Joe Mayo or something. Was like,
oh yeah,
the Beatles the Beatles won a Grammy. The Beatles won a Grammy, and I'm like, wait a minute, you all hate the Grammys. You can't hate the system and then love the system when it gives you just because you like it. And I'll say this again, like I say it every time, because this is what people hate to hear. I'm not saying you, Larry, because I think you are more open than some others, but like the Beatles could do no wrong. I mean, on YouTube especially, people don't want to hear that the Beatles, as amazing and as talented and as incredible and as evolutionary as they were popular because they were a really good pop band. And if you were to put Beatlemania and all these women pissing their pants, screaming and shouting and all over the place, and you put that side by side with a Taylor Swift concert, they're identical. And the reason that those individuals like those artists is exactly the same, which is they make really good music that speaks to the human being who likes good popular music. That's it. I wish Michael Nolan was here to get all cranky with me and start screaming at me, because I know he feels.
Can I mention one other thing about this thing? Just to show the Beatles fans are crazy. Larry just did a battle of the solo artists. The greatest solo artist of all time, John Lennon, who never did a concert on his own ever. He played on like benefit shows. Never went on tour as John Lennon. He had 5. Like, how many albums did John Lennon put out in the 70s? Unfortunately, he died tragically, so we never got to see more. But that just shows he's got a small window of albums. I bet you there's 5 iconic John Lennon solo songs. Not saying there isn't another 30 good ones, but and he beats out Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney, David Bowie. Like, how does that happen? How does someone bet him number one just because they like John? It has nothing to do with whether he is the best singer.
I think they're also voting. Just they like his voice the best, like his song, like just because he has a smaller discography.
But how can John be the best solo artist? He never even had a tour.
John Lennon is my favorite singer of all time.
But he's not the best solo artist. You're asking someone who's an art, whether they're an artist.
That's your opinion, Glenn. Don't get me. I need my stress ball.
But you didn't ask who's got the greatest voice. I might vote for him too in that regard.
Now, Larry, there's only one person who's a better solo artist than John Lennon, and that is Lou Reed.
There you go.
And then
I love Lou.
Oh yeah. I could make an argument that Lou Reed probably deserved more votes than John Lennon.
He had a much longer solo career.
Make me want to get into sitar music.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. The Beatles turned me on to world music.
Yeah, well, I did a video on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it's just a joke. I don't want to get into it all again.
Well, I got turned off on the Grammys when that year in the early 90s when Metallica lost to
Jethro Tull.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, remember that? Tull got named the best heavy metal band.
I was so
awards
disappointed. I was
are
like,
just
are you kidding me? I thought for sure Metallica was going to win. I thought for sure.
I remember when Elvis Costello's first album came out in the 77 or whatever it was, the My Aim Is True. And I'm
A
watching
Taste
the
of Honey
Grammys.
one,
He's up
didn't they?
for Best New Artist against Christopher Cross. Remember
Oh,
Christopher Cross?
Yeah.
And Christopher Cross beat him. And I'm going, how is this possible?
Hey, that's a crime right there. Iron Maiden deserves to be in there.
But getting back to the awards thing, I think award, like, for the past 20 years, I don't care.
It's
Like,
just a made for
they're just
TV
stupid,
event for
right?
people to get
It's-
dressed up.
it's
Don't
all
take
about
it
money.
seriously. It's not to be taken seriously. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the start of did you watch the Grammys, Alex?
No.
I did. The start of the show, Dawes came out with what's that woman's name? I can't remember.
Oh, they were doing
Brittany
fire
Howard.
stuff.
Brittany Howard.
Oh, okay, now I'm in.
Brad Paisley, the country, but he's actually a pretty good guitar player. That
Great
guy.
guitar player, yeah.
And he came out and they sang they covered the Randy Newman song "I Love L.A."
Oh wow!
And they rocked it up. It was
I like that
freaking
song.
awesome. It was really good.
There's a Randy Newman book I just saw that came out, like, about his life.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
that might be interesting.
We love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love LA.
it was really good. Really good performance.
Mm-hmm.
And Stevie Wonder sang, accompanied by Herbie Hancock. I mean,
Wow.
Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, I mean that's good stuff.
No.
What?
I don't know anything about that.
I don't understand that.
Careful now, you're talking about well, I don't know what he is, but
The president of the United States.
he is.
Alex.
Yeah, you're talking about the leader of the Doge.
Don't cut up President Musk.
Hey, you three be careful about that.
That's cool.
Let's not talk about politics.
No,
Remember
yeah.
the last live chat I said, somebody told me, stay away from politics on my channel.
Wow.
I stay away
No.
from politics.
No,
I
you know,
have no
somebody, though,
interest in that, really.
I will say, and this is not to go in obviously in that trope, because it's funny, you know, it's like not politics, but it's funny, like when I was recording this video earlier, and you know me, like when I'm just making dumb jokes and saying stuff off the cuff, and I don't really think about what I'm saying as I'm saying it. I don't edit it out or anything like that. And it's like, you know, I was showing a Leonard Cohen album. I was like, yeah, you know, like just some love for Canada here, and like, you know, because there's a lot of Canadians on YouTube, a ton, not just, you know, creators, but a lot of people who watch these things. And I'm just sitting there going, like, you know, it's not a political comment to apologize for having somebody who's talking about trying to annex your country. So like that's not a political thing. That's just a reality of what's happening right now. So I was like, yeah, I think I referred to us as boners. So
well, at least we wouldn't have to pay duty anymore on.
That's right.
Yeah, there are some good things.
I could, if we were in the 51st state, I would have
$5 shipping, Glenn.
Yeah, I would have had 20 more CDs in my collection. It's all about me. Patrick C. made a comment here. Double Fantasy was one of the best albums of the 80s. I disagree.
I love it.
I think the Yoko songs are absolutely dreadful. It should have been a whole John. If they put, and I think our friend Michael Nolan said the same thing, if he would have put Milk and Honey, the John songs from Milk and Honey and Double Fantasy together, they would have had a good album.
No.
Yes, Record Store Day this year is fantastic. It is. There's some great stuff coming out. I don't have the list in front of me, but I must have picked 10. I normally find like one or two things that if I could get them, I'd get them. But I think there's like 10 things on there that really excited me.
Glenn, when are you going to Florida?
March 4th, we're leaving.
Okay. I was going to tell you, if there are things that, if you need a mule to send to get things and then send it down to Florida for you, obviously you'd be there after, but I'm just saying, some of us are closer to a lot of record stores that do record store day than others, and so I was going to offer to be your drug mule, the drugs being records here, people.
Well, I'll be back. Well, record store day is not until April, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like it would be,
Yeah,
it would be past it, but yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for the offer.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Larry, what's next on your channel?
I don't know. I think of the idea the day I do the video usually, or the night before.
Well, we're going to do our CD review this week.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned to you, Larry, that we should do our top 10 of all the ones that we like.
Yeah, the thing is, I got to remember them all.
I wrote down on my list already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we will do that then.
So let's talk about YouTube for a second here and views and everything. The recent video of yours, Alex, you were saying one of your recent videos got really good views.
Could have, yeah. The Badfinger one did really well, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so frustrating with YouTube. Like, I've got two YouTube channels, and one day I thought, okay, I'll just do one video for one of the channels, and it did okay. The next day, I had so many ideas, so I did two videos a few hours apart on both channels. And the views, especially on the one channel, it didn't even get to 300. I don't think it's still at 300 views. Mm-hmm. And I'm so popular on YouTube. And the other one didn't do much better. It's just frustrating. So the next day I'm thinking, okay, usually I don't take that much time with thumbnails or even the title. This time I worked, I thought it out a bit more, and so it would stand out. And I uploaded. And they did so much better on both channels. Like, I don't know if that's, I don't know. It's just weird.
You can't read what people are going to watch.
And that's if they actually get the notice that it's been posted.
Even when I do these random polls every Sunday, one of them gets 1,000 views, the next one gets 200, the next one gets 400, the next one gets 500.
But it's more. I think it's more YouTube than the viewers.
Yeah,
it is YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like, and you don't know what video is going to get big.
I told you, Dennis, and I think a lot.
Yeah, and I know it's I think different for you. So I'll say this too, like, I'm not monetized. And even if I was, it would be, it would be like fun money, right? It'd be like, oh, I'll go get McDonald's now. But you like, this is a primary source of income for you. You know what I mean? And so, like, there is a business decision when it comes to you creating your content, right? Like, you know what I mean? So I recognize that fully. It is so interesting though, like how many people I talk to that like stress over this, who are not monetized or who do not depend on this, on some income or whatever. And, I just think, yes, like, I'm sure, obviously, thumbnails help, clickbaity type titles help, like people liking and doing all those things. Absolutely. But the reality is that there's one of us, all of us have had some kind of video that has sort of blown up in their own ways. And the reality is there wasn't really a whole lot different that we did with that video than any of the other ones.
True. And
so, nor are they, everybody I talk to, they say, well, that was the most popular video, and that's the one I spent the least amount of time on. That's the other one that happens a lot too. And so,
or you see an old video and you go through your video, all of a sudden, that thing's got 6,000 views.
Yeah.
Like you totally disregarded it after you made it.
Right. Yeah.
A few years back, like over 10 years ago, I don't have them on my channel anymore, but I had 2 or 3 that had 1 million or 2 million views. That's not going to happen anymore. And it is frustrating sometimes, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to still do it, right? Like, it's I love when somebody would say something like, I post a video and you just did this for the views. It's like, what the hell? What's the other reason I'd be posting videos?
The other side of that, Larry, that, well, it doesn't personally, insult me, because people, again, have different reasons for doing YouTube stuff. But, everybody has a different reason for doing everything, right? So it's no knock on them. But, I've talked to people that they say, man, I love that album and I really want to talk about it and do a video on it. And you say, well, great, then do it. And they say, yeah, but those videos don't get any views. And so then it's like, oh, so it's a business decision for, you know what I mean? Like, to me, like, keeping this whole thing in check is like, I enjoy turning on my stupid phone and talking about music to the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, if you enjoy doing it, the enjoyment of doing it shouldn't be dependent on how many people like it or watch it or anything like that,
Yeah.
I agree. Because I really appreciate even those 30 to 40 main core audience that I know I have that watches everything. Those are the ones that I really do it for. I do it for everybody, of course, but getting those responses back from the
main
usual
thing.
suspects, it really makes it worthwhile. I like the interaction. For me, it's not about the monetization, because I'm not monetized, but I really do love the interaction. That's the main attraction for me for doing it, is the connections I made.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I would say, maybe just a few years back, I would do a video, and I'm thinking, because of the subject matter or the title, oh, this is going to get a lot of views, and of course it doesn't. And then I'll do another video, and I'll even have second doubts of posting it, and I end up posting it, and it does so well. Like, just post, like whatever.
But we all have our obscure artists that we like and that you want to talk about. And sometimes I'm kind of going, I do get a little nervous. Like, do I want to post this?
No, that's the best stuff.
I know less than 100 people will watch it, but maybe I should do it for my own self anyway.
Yeah. And like Sparks, back a few years ago, they weren't that well known then, especially. And I would talk about them, and I would get people. I checked out Spark, and they became fans. So that's all I care about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why did you put these two channels? Why did you put these two channels together into one? Well, the reason I like having two channels is my one channel got demonetized over a year ago. And so I just want to have the two channels in case that ever happens again. And I like, I've got enough to do for two channels. Oh no, look who's here with us. It's Jeep Jones.
I'm here, guys.
Hey. How are you
Excellent.
doing?
Nice to see you.
Glen doesn't even know who that is.
I do so.
I don't.
I've never met the man.
Larry's message there right now. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about the live chat.
Don't worry about. Thanks everybody for dropping by, and we'll see you later.
Well, it's a cameo.
Yeah.
Well, Larry, introduce Jeep to the people who don't know.
This is Jeep Jones from the Great Balancing Act Band, and I've got one of their or two of their CDs, and they're excellent. And more importantly, really importantly, back in the day, I used to do these songs with loops and sometimes a guitarist or whatever. And Jeep's band has covered two of my songs, and they're about, I believe, to cover a third. And they're so good. Thank you.
They're awesome.
The third one's almost done. It was called Me and You and Geddy Lee, I believe.
Yeah.
But I changed it.
Oh, you can't do that. I'll sue you.
Geddy Lee, because that rhymes better. You, me, and Geddy Lee is just.
I don't care about rhyming.
But it's hilarious, and I think it might be the best one yet.
Oh, cool! Very good.
Nice.
Okay,
I think Larry, we should definitely like get the rights to this, like SoCan, what have you.
Yeah,
because this one could take off because it's about Geddy Lee.
Well, the thing is, if we start making money on my songs, I'm going to end up suing you. So don't worry about it.
Okay, that's excellent. I'm already being sued by the Beatles, the Beach Boys. No,
Get caught up with these comments. My favorite Leonard Cohen album is the one with Tower of Song. First, we take Manhattan and the Jazz Police on it. I'm Your Man. Yep, great stuff.
Cheap, I have to ask you a question that I love to ask anybody who's playing in a band or professional musician. What's on your turntable right now that you like to listen to?
Okay. First of all, I can't believe I'm talking to Glen Kellaway from the basement.
Oh, wow.
He gets that a lot.
Yeah. If you need any banjo on your album, let me know.
No problem.
Okay.
That might just happen. On my turntable right now is the Beach Boys.
Oh, Jesus. Nice.
I think it's
Why did
called Is it All Summer Long? Or
All summer long, yeah.
All Summer Long?
All
It's got
Summer Long is the
Wendy on it.
album I
and,
ever bought.
Wow.
what a great album. Oh my God. I just bought it for $7. Oh, Glenn, you got to get into the Beach Boys. I'll tell you, I understand you. I really didn't like the Beach Boys at all. I kind of laughed at them until, and it wasn't when I heard Pet Sounds. I listened to Pet Sounds. I bought it because everyone said it was the greatest album ever. And I was like, it's okay. But I watched a video called Beautiful Dreamer on YouTube, a documentary on Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys. And that's when I understood what was going on in this guy's head, and I gave his music more attention. And I still don't think Pet Sounds is anywhere near my favorite album. Just doesn't. Where's the rock in it? Like is what I always think. Although it's a beautiful album, makes me cry sometimes, but it doesn't rock. And I'm always like, wow, it's like classical music. I'm not a huge fan of classical music, and I can appreciate that it's beautiful. But Wild Honey and even the early stuff.
I'm still, I was not, Glenn wouldn't accept it, but for one of our CD exchanges, I was thinking Wild Honey, Glenn might like.
Yeah.
Because it's rougher, right? It's more edgy or whatever. It doesn't have the Beach Boys harmonies or anything really.
Watch that documentary, Glenn. Beautiful Dreamer.
Yeah.
Okay. I will check it out.
It'll change your mind.
Maybe.
And Jeep, tell us about your band and your website and everything. Promote yourself.
Okay. I'm just coming in here, so I don't know if I'm interrupting like a super.
You are. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We're just talking.
How rude.
The people watching the live stream are like, geez,
Not at all.
Larry was just about to tell us. But anyway. Great Balancing Act. It was started by my self and Nina back in 1995 in Montreal.
Wow.
When we were basically in kindergarten. No, I'm exaggerating, but
So that's the first album.
Yeah, that's the first album, Spring. We'd done a couple cassettes even before that, cassette releases. And we met in Montreal and we started making music together. And then we moved here to Moncton, New Brunswick, because that's my hometown. We only came to visit for a couple weeks, but that was in 1996. And we still haven't left. So that's what this place will do. It'll suck you in and you can't leave.
It's true.
So, we've been here ever since. And we've been, we played, we got maritime famous for, by the year 2000, we were maritime famous. Which means that if you go into a restaurant, people ask for your autograph and stuff. But that was cool. in the year 1999, 2000, 2001. And then I had a kid with a musician who joined our band named Lullaby Baxter. Some people might have heard of Lullaby. She was on, I can't remember what record label. But anyway, we ended up going out together and having a kid. And so I stopped doing music for a long time because I raised my kid. And as soon as he was old enough, basically a teenager, I said, okay, you want me to leave you alone now, so I'll go play music. And so cool. We started doing the band again. And throughout those years, off and on, Nina and I have sort of gotten together here and there and said, let's do some more songs and record some songs. I got a batch here just waiting, and she would have a batch herself too. So it's a funny band that just sort of has has just kept on going because we never got famous, you know. And I think if you don't get famous, you stay good. We just keep
Or
getting
you
better.
definitely
Our
got
albums
way
keep getting
better. I mean, I find this album is good. I really do like it, but you can tell that you're kind of still a little bit green.
Oh yeah.
I mean, unlike I got this, okay, the Dugasno bitch, and I love this. I love the way the band plays together. You guys are pretty tight. You guys you can hear that you're having fun
Oh yeah.
playing those songs. I really like this album.
Yeah, that's another fun project I do with a spoken word artist named Johnny Diggett. Calls himself Dugasno bitch. And me and the bass player and I write all the music, and he lays his poetry on top of it. And yeah, it's a lot of fun because we like, you know, Johnny is 65, so he was just started his rock and roll career at 63 or 62, which is hilarious. He's always wanted to do that. And
is there a good live scene down in Moncton, or can you play a lot of gigs and stuff, or is it more studio putting out albums?
Yeah, you know, we'll play live and stuff around here, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. We used to be able to make our living playing music. Now it doesn't pay the gas.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah,
That's sad.
it seems like, I don't know if it's like that for you guys, but it's more or less kind of dead, the music scene.
Yeah, it's too bad.
So a question here, will there be, I think you were saying like an EP maybe, possibly, or?
Yeah. You know, I was talking to my wife Peggy there yesterday about it. We were listening. She heard You, Me, and Geddy Lee for the first time. It's pretty far. It still needs Eve, our guitarist, to put his backup vocals and guitar on it.
Yeah,
but it's more or less done. And she was saying that this album, this is becoming her favorite album and her favorite band.
I think it's the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can you release your albums on vinyl as well, or is that a costly venture?
Too costly.
Yeah.
If we had somebody who's interested in you know, putting that stuff out, we would, but otherwise it's way more expensive than CDs.
So, as an indie band, is it is there anybody like who ever comes sniffs around labels that would?
They used to.
Yeah.
But not anymore. Labels don't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
There's almost no such thing as that anymore. So people just release their own stuff. You know, YouTube is the new medium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time a band got signed by a record label? Are there record labels signing bands anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe gigantic acts that are corporate acts that will be groomed and turned into flavor of the month.
I'm trying to remember the woman who was on the Grammy Awards the other night, the young singer. She's really good, from LA. Starts with an R or a C. I was just talking to my daughter about her this morning. Anyway, she gave her acceptance speech when she won an award. She's really good. But talking about how labels mistreat the people that they do sign. They've got all these young people, and they bring them along a little bit, and they're still starving and everything, and then they just drop them. And you know, these people maybe could have been going to school and getting an education. Instead, they just either fed all this this corporate crap, and you know, we'll look after you, and then all of a sudden you just get dropped, and there's nothing that, you know, it was just kind of shame on you for the way you treat artists.
I was listening to an interview with XTC the other day, and I don't know if you know the band XTC.
Yeah,
love XTC. And they were saying, you know, they've sold tons of albums all over the world. They're still selling, but they never made any money. Yeah. They owed the record company so much money. The record company is basically a bank. They say, okay, we'll lend you all this money to make an album, because the bank won't lend you musicians any money to make an album, but we will. So then the band says, oh, okay, well, how much can we get? Oh, you can get all this $50,000. Oh, okay, let's do it. And then your album doesn't sell. And now you owe 50 grand, which you're paying back for years. So, you know, it's really just a bank. And
Yep.
if you're a really big band that's got hits, they'll promote you, but otherwise they won't. You've got to do it all yourself. And so might as well just nowadays it's easier to do it yourself. You got a better chance.
Well, and you think about too, I mean, to that point about, the 50 grand or whatever, not only are you in the whole 50 grand, but you have to sell twice as much as you thought you would, because the label is going to take at least half of what you make on that music. But the reality is, and you alluded to this, Jeep, with YouTube being the medium, is what do artists need labels for today? It's not distribution. It's not, I mean, people have home studios now and they can record an entire album on their laptop with real instruments or not, and share it with the world. I mean, you look at the amount of people who have just blown up on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram essentially from their living rooms. And it's, and they're selling out stadiums. It's wild.
That's right. And the beauty of it is, like, even when I was talking to Peggy last night about this EP that we're going to do with Larry's songs, I said, like, well, why not? We have no record label. We can do whatever we want. And that's the beauty of it, because the record label say, well, you can't, people are expecting this from you, and we're not going to give you money to put out this weird project here that you're doing. It's like, well, the beauty of not being on a label is that we can do things that bands who are tied to a label can't do. We can do whatever we want. And that's really fun. So once I dropped the dream of trying to be on a record label, it became a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I started doing really what I wanted to do. So, because whether you like it or not, when you're thinking in terms of commerciality with your music, you can't help it creeps into everything you write. You write a certain sense. Like, I might be thinking, well, I can't put this Larry Graves song out because it's got this word in it or this sentence. We might get canceled. There's some sexist stuff in there. Uh-oh. By the way, Larry, I noticed all three of these songs are about women who are doing you wrong.
Well, yeah. Wow. I've never analyzed I think I've done like over 200 songs, and
I think it's a coincidence that I landed on the three songs.
So.
One's about like the ugliest woman, and the other one's the one.
Well, I did get divorced.
Right. I mean, it's pretty common theme anyway. The woman who done me wrong theme, but these are very unique. Like,
now I do have another song, urinary tract infection.
Did a woman give you that?
It's more of a dance song, but
so what's on your turntable today, Larry?
I'm into Ween. Are you into Ween at all?
I never got into them. I just have friends who like them, and every time I hear it, I go, "That's really cool." But I've never gone there yet.
Yeah.
What about you, Glenn?
Me, it's mostly jam band stuff, like Widespread Panic, and I'm really on a big Miles Davis kick, doing the jazz journey right now. So
okay, we were a total jam band in 2000. We were Deadheads were all following us around and stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we had become a jam band because that was big in 2000. Fish and I guess Martin Wood and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And we had a good friend, and he came to our show once and said, "Oh, I love your show, but your sets, a good set should not have more than 3 songs in it."
That's awesome.
So we thought, okay, well, we'll try that, and we stretched our songs out a lot, and we really enjoyed it. It was so fun.
Oh, that's amazing.
Morris, what's on your turntable these days?
Anything that I just recently bought that I want to get into. Well, I've been listening to, of course, the Ween. I've been listening to my new Black Sabbath. I want to get back to playing this another time because I really enjoyed that. It's of course, the Naked Let It Be. Yep. So I need to listen to that more. I'm pretty much trying to play as much music as I can put in there. But yeah, I played the Ween today. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to like it. It actually rocks a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I kind of figured that, but yeah, I liked it.
I love that song where it's like, "You killed my brother." You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I forget the song title, but yeah,
It's like a spaghetti western tune.
yeah.
And Alex, I don't know you. Good to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Good to chat with you. I've heard a lot about you and the band, so it's a pleasure to be on screen with you. Well, I have a thing I start every morning that I'm home, which is, throughout the work week, probably 4 or 5 days a week, I'm working from home. But I start every morning with a jazz record. So that's like, it's my kind of tradition. I start every day morning with a jazz record, and then I end at night with the jazz record. So
really,
so this morning the pick was the record Karma by Pharoah Sanders. So some pretty out there spiritual type stuff, not for the faint of heart, but good stuff. And then I went to I listened to a little bit of 10cc this morning. Some sheet music, which is just those two first early records. I mean, I love Original Soundtrack. It's like probably my favorite. I mean, that's their masterpiece. But those first two 10cc records are just so weird and quirky, and just like there's nothing like it. So I love that stuff.
I also love How Dare You. That's my favorite.
How Dare You is great. Yeah, I mean, those are all great. And then I listened to I'm a big power pop fan, so listened to Big Star's third album, which was great. I'm curious. I mean, well, Big Star never, their story was always really unknown here in the States for the most part. Even after people started hearing their story years and years and years later, did they make any noise up in Canada at all?
About the same, I would say.
Yeah,
they were known
after.
Yeah.
So, Alex, have you actually heard Planet of Song yet?
No, I have not listened to a single note.
You should check this one out.
I can send you a copy. I'll send you a copy, Alex. You just got to have your address. I'll send you a copy.
It's a good album.
I'm sure. I'd love that. That'd be amazing. Yeah, we'll connect for sure.
I definitely like, you're talking about Miles Davis, Glen. I'm a big fan of Miles Davis.
Oh, awesome.
I don't listen to a lot of jazz, but Miles is so funky and crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I love Chet Baker as well.
That's great.
And Sun Ra. I'm into Sun Ra. Now, that's not for the faint of heart.
Something I've never explored that I would like to.
It's something you got to almost see live to, because it's so insane. The live show is just nuts. It's powerful.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'd like to be a radio jockey someday. Sounds like recording music might be a hassle. Well, yeah, of course.
I think being a radio disc jockey today would just be an awful job because it's so formatted. You would your own personality would. I mean, when you're talking, your personality would show up, but your music personality would never be allowed to show through.
Even those guys, do they exist anymore? Or the guy who's like, "This next song coming up is Bud,"
Yeah,
you don't hear those guys anymore. It's just
they're not locally. Yeah,
I think it's AI basically.
And there's some marketing company that just sends around, okay, here's what's popular nowadays, so this is the way you format your station.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And every city has the same stations.
That's it.
Like it's not WKRP in Cincinnati anymore. There,
yeah.
Johnny Fever and Venus Flytrap. They're not walking around the building. There's one guy in that building now, and he's just making sure the lights are on.
Exactly.
Yeah, when this is done, I'll have a link for everybody's channel and also a link for Great Balancing Act, their website. And
was it Ryan Seacrest that took over for Casey Kasem?
Probably,
yeah. Because nobody was like Casey Kasem. Casey Kasem was one of the best, along with Wolfman Jack. Jack, I love listening to the old Wolfman Jack stuff. That's a radio personality,
I think you meant stars. Thank you very much.
It's sad though that the years of we've connected on this before. What broke maybe the greatest Canadian band, with the exception of the Great Balancing Act. What broke Rush in the States was an independent DJ in Cleveland, Ohio at WMMS that said they got this track Working Man, and we think it is going to connect with the Rust Belt here in Northeast Ohio. And that was an independent DJ who said, I found this record, I'm going to play it. And that will never happen in that format anymore.
No, it's a lost art.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep, it's we rock musicians have sort of got to face the fact that rock is not dead, but it's more like jazz. It's like
Just
you
smells
know,
funny.
jazz had its heyday and people still listen to it, but it's mostly old guys, in some little bar, little club somewhere. It's not big anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's not what people
Well,
are into.
I think I'm going to wrap it up because I'm hungry. I want my dinner. And like I said, please check out Glen Kellaway. Where is he? He's over here.
Right here.
Glen
I'm here.
Kellaway from the
Larry.
basement. Check out his channel. I'll have a link below. And Jeep Jones, I'll have a link for the Great Balancing Act.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me on. That's great.
Morris Gotro is over here. I'll have a link for his channel. And Alex, Beer and Vinyl, I'll even have a link for your channel once you send me $20 through PayPal.
Is there a tariff on that, Larry?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
And Alex, I'll send you Jeep Jones Facebook.
That'd be great.
You guys can
love that.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody. Oh, we'll
Yeah.
leave it here for a second. People are saying bye. And then
Thank you everybody for showing up.
Jeep.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you got to join us here, Jeep. I'm so happy to see you.
We'll
very happy to be here.
What we'll do is we'll get together sometime with Morris and we'll do some kind of video to promote you more and talk about the music you're doing with my lyrics.
Yes.
It's crazy. What a weird thing to have happened, eh? It's a very random thing, and it's great. I'm having a lot of fun thinking outside the box with these songs of yours, Larry.
They're really outside the box.
Yeah.
So is it difficult to make it into an actual song? Seriously, like with the lyrics?
No, it's not. Like Geddy Lee, I thought, oh, this one's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But I just came up with a few chords and started fitting the words, and it's like, okay, this really works. And suddenly, and each one was kind of like that. It's just, okay, this is not so hard. I just got to shape it a little bit, and then it all fits.
Yeah, that's
awesome. The songs, your lyrics rhyme, and they're in verses, so it works well.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I connect with the twisted sense of humor, so it's fun to put those lyrics to music.
Somebody's got to,
yeah. Okay, so thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larry.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Larry.